I'm Kristy Aasheim, a top producing agent in North Dakota, and this show is all about learning from the best. Top producers, brokerage owners, and industry experts who have faced the challenges, put in the work, and climbed to greatness. Whether you're looking to sharpen your skills, gain new strategies, or even get inspired by the journeys of top agents, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Welcome to the Inner Circle Podcast. I am Kristy Aasheim, and today I have Tristan Emond here with Mindful Living Realty in Rapid City, South Dakota, and we are so happy to see him today. Tristan, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to be here.
Absolutely. So first off, just tell us who Tristan is. Outside of real estate, outside of any of that stuff we get into, who are you?
All right. I am a husband with a wife. We got married when I was 20 and she was 19, and we've had 4 kids since. And the youngest is now graduating college. So we're getting to be empty nesters here pretty quick. So it's the cool stuff in our life. We love to hang out on the lake. When I was growing up in Minnesota, we were 6 miles from a lake that we spent a lot of time on. So water skiing, tubing, all the fun stuff. So that's something we keep on doing even today. I think that's our biggest hobby, shall we say. So we're looking forward to some nice weather here this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. What lakes do you guys go to around there then?
So obviously we don't have a lot of lakes, and they're all in the Black Hills, right? So Pactola is the one that we enjoy to go to. Usually what we do is like a Wednesday afternoon, about 4 o'clock, we'll head out to work, pack a supper, and then we'll sit on the lake. And then about 6 o'clock, everybody goes away to their own dinners or whatever, and everything just calms down. So we're sitting on the lake almost by ourselves, nice and calm. It's the best time to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say that's usually pretty busy when I go by there. So, yeah, that's a great idea. So, coming into real estate, I did see you guys are a team. Is it you, your wife, and your son on your team? Or is it just you and your wife?
Just me and my wife at the moment. My son was involved, but he moved on to other things. So it's just me and my wife. I'm the face. I do all the things. My wife does the back end state certifications, making sure I'm doing all my stuff right, making sure we're dotting all of our T's and I's, that kind of stuff. She sets up the systems. She does the book work, all the little detail stuff that she loves that I hate. So she does that kind of crap.
No, that's what I was just going to ask. How well does that work? Because honestly, I see a lot of husband and wife teams that work that way, and it's so nice because there's usually one that likes to do the showings, likes to be with the people and be the face, and the other one likes all the back end work. So that is definitely helpful for sure.
Yeah, and it didn't start out that way. Initially, we basically became a team in 2010 when she got her license. And the idea was that she'd have her clients and I'd have my clients. But we realized that she doesn't like people. And she would be mad when they're like, "You want to go look at this house? You said you don't want stairs, but it has stairs." And I'm like, "Yeah, they need to see them." But she's like, "But you said you don't want stairs. Why are we looking at this house?" And she would have problems with, and also like when a showing would interrupt her to-do list, she would feel like she didn't get anything done that day. I'm like, "But that is the day." So when we finally realized that she needed to do this and I needed to do that, and I gave up control, which was the biggest piece. It was like, okay, instead of trying to control what she's doing, have these meetings, make sure she's doing everything right. When I finally was able to say, "Hey, no, you just do it because you're better at this than I am," and I finally realized that I was being an idiot for not letting her do that, things just fell into place a lot smoother. And we just started being able to appreciate each other's roles, and we were able to move to where we are today. And that included
Right.
opening up our own brokerage.
Yeah, we all have to work with our strengths
Yeah.
for sure. So what made you get into real estate in the first place? Because it was a long time ago, correct? That you got your license?
Yeah. Yeah. By accident. I was working at Hardwood Floors ever since I was out of high school. And at the age of 30 with 4 kids, I decided, hey, let's do something different. And really what I wanted to do was get into some kind of computer design, graphic design, something involving computers. As I was thinking, I obviously need to have some kind of part-time job while I'm doing this. And so I found an ad in the paper that said, wanted computer person to help in a real estate firm. So I ended up starting my real estate career being an assistant for a commercial realtor, the biggest commercial realtor here in town. And she started paying me. So basically, I was working like half time working for her. And then the other half time, I decided, you know what, if I'm going to do this, it took me a while to figure out, do I really want to do this? And so I decided to move forward and do my own business as well. So it was a different beginning, not something I was like, yeah, let's go do this. But it worked out okay.
Absolutely. I have the same story. I didn't ever plan on being into it, fell into it, and
the rest is history, right? We
Yep.
don't always know what we want to be when we grow up, right?
Are we still figuring that out? I think we are.
Always depends on the day. If all the
Yeah.
transactions are going good, we love our job. If they're not, we
What am I
might
doing?
be
What am
reconsidering
I?
life. For
100%.
sure. So, being in it so long, you've had to see a lot of different things. From then to now, that's a long time. That's what, 16 years? You said 2010?
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, how did it change? Did you ever have to do a lot more going to the client to get your signatures instead of digitally signed? Did you get to see all that, or were you already in the digital realm?
Oh yeah, no, completely. It was bring the clients to the office, have everything printed out and in your car or in this place or in that place, so you could have them sign the papers all by hand. Fortunately, we were starting to about 2006, 7. We were getting into iPhone land. I remember I got a BlackBerry and that was exciting. And we were all excited when we were able to actually call people on the road and get things taken care of on the road. And it was just a very exciting time. And then when e-signatures came along, and we were able to sign digitally. That was also, hey, look what I did in minutes. I was able to get this thing signed and done. I had one situation where the counter offer came back that said, okay, here's both of you have the same counter offer. The first one to get it back to me wins. So I had my clients prepped and we practiced. And then as soon as I got it, I was like sending it, sending. In 4 minutes, we had the thing signed and sent back and under contract, and we beat the people by a mile. And this was just at this time, it was like this is the most wonderful thing ever. But
Right?
it was a cool story that highlights just where we were at the time.
Oh, absolutely. It is, I don't know. It's so nice. I have one client currently that I have to do the printout and go see.
Yep.
They're an hour away. So there's a
Yep.
dead, there's this, there's that. So there's a lot of it. And you think about that, you can't even be as successful as you want to be if you were still doing it that way, unless you had assistants running for you all the
Right.
time.
Yeah, it's a way different ball game. Fortunately I wasn't at the time. I talked with some agents that were doing it even before me who were like, yeah, you go to a payphone, you call in the office, and then you get your messages from there. And then you go around with a book under your shoulder or a book under your arm and get more messages as you find another payphone. So I'm glad we weren't in that age, but
Right? I always just am mind boggled by that because everything we do is so digital. And I feel like, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like I'm already behind because there's so much new stuff out there, like with AI and all these things. And I'm like,
yeah.
gosh, I need to learn this. I need to learn this. I need to learn this. I'm like constantly behind, but maybe I'm wrong.
That is something that I've learned early on is I was the king of shiny objects syndrome. I was a webinar junkie back when I first started. Okay, there's a blog and then there was Facebook and then there was Instagram and there's this social media and then there's that social media. And what about Vine? And then one guru was saying this was the way to go. Another guru was saying this is the way to go. So I was like skipping everywhere, never really finishing one, but moving on to another. And so I learned really quickly that I needed to figure out, okay, where is my thing? Start on one thing, figure that out, and then we can move on to another thing. So this kind of same thing applies here with as we get into AI. Yes, there's a lot of cool things that we can do, but if we spend forever researching and talking and blah 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 about what's coming in AI, and we need to keep focused still on server and clients and doing the thing, and sometimes that's simply just keeping the signatures the way it is, so we know what we're doing until the next thing pops up. We're like, okay, we can figure this out, and then now we can use that and incorporate that. But we shouldn't be doing that until we got part one figured out. And
Oh,
sometimes I think we end up spending too much time on everything else that we don't just settle in on the easy stuff.
and I think about new agents coming in at this stage in the game, there's so much they have to learn. It's really hard because if you do not have your social media game in play, you're nothing, unfortunately, unless you have this gigantic group of people that are just going to allow you to
Right.
sell their home. But people want your marketing out there because they want to see their home out there. If they don't see
Yep.
it enough, they're going to start pestering you
What's
and
going
say,
on? Yeah.
why aren't you doing what you're supposed to be doing? And things like that. I saw your YouTube. It looks like you are very well established on your social media. Tell me about your YouTube. What are you doing with it now? Do you have fun with it?
So I'll take you back a little bit further back, just to give you the complete story. So I mentioned when I got into real estate, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this my way. I want to do it the way that I have fun. But of course, you young pup getting into real estate, let's go door knock, go this, go do this. But throughout it all, I was trying to get involved on the computer because that's what I enjoyed. I enjoyed the online stuff. I was involved with corporate real estate at the time, and I went to this huge corporate real estate event. And here we are talking about multi-million-dollar producers telling me all their secrets for 4 days or whatever it was. And I walked away from there going, you know what? You should be doing video. So you need to do video. And so it took me that long just to figure out, okay, I need to do this. So I started in 2016 after my wife and I formed Mindful Living Realty, doing Tristan and his whiteboard, where I talked about the buying and selling process and things like that. But nobody cares about that stuff. Nobody wanted to watch it. So I had a YouTube channel for a while. And then I got together with this group of other realtors that were doing some very creative things with listing videos. And so I was starting to create some fun listing videos. And at that time, you put a fun listing videos on Facebook and get lots and lots of views. It was the time at the time. Then they started talking about this thing called, hey, you can get some clients if you start using YouTube in a different way. And so I said, this is interesting. This is something I could do. So actually, right about 5 years ago, April 17th, 2020, I posted my first video about moving to Rapid City, the 7 reasons you should move to Rapid City. From that time, I have posted basically one video a week talking about moving to Rapid City, living in Rapid City, what to think of our weather. People from Southern California, they're concerned about our weather because the only time they see South Dakota on the news is when it's on the Weather Channel, when snow is blowing sideways. So they think that's all South Dakota is, North Dakota too, I'm sure.
Yes.
So every week I have figured out another video to post, whether it be cost of living and things that other people would have questions about moving to our area. And from that point, and when I joined, and it was a social or a perfect storm, I called it. It was right at COVID when I started this. That's right when people are thinking, maybe we get out of our big cities and move to a smaller location. South Dakota didn't have masks, so that was attractive to a lot of people, all the things. So that kind of started me really well. And at the end of, I started in April, and by the end of that year, I had two or three closings. So I'm like, this is going to work. All right. Then I was like, okay, I bought a new camera, I invested in some more equipment. And over the next 3 years, 21, 22, yeah, the next 3 years, that tripled my income just from my YouTube channel. People moving into the city, finding my videos, watching all of them. I'm like on their TVs, no less. Or some of them were saying, yeah, I every morning I get up and I do my workout on my treadmill and I watch you. I'm like, I was just trying to get some leads, not be someone's entertainment for the evening. And so it has basically turned a whole corner in my business because of YouTube. It's been pretty amazing.
That's great to hear. We needed to hear, I needed to hear that because I'm on my journey in YouTube. I'm new to it. Of course, doing this podcast, of course, they're going to be on YouTube, but I haven't got to the point of making my own unique videos yet. Need to do that. I know there's leads there, and I've heard many of agents say exactly what you're saying. They definitely make a difference. And I know you can cross post your YouTube to your Facebook, to your Instagram, to, well, every last platform there is out there, which we all know there's too many these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how many leads do you think you're getting? Are you getting people just subscribing and reaching out directly, or are they just leads on YouTube? How is those coming in?
Yeah, YouTube is an interesting ball game because people have watched me forever and they've heard my corny jokes and they know all the things. They are like, I feel like I already know you. So usually it's a call or an email or a text. I have a few websites with contact forms on it. Hey, mine's my website Let's Go. So people go there. I've got a scheduler that they can automatically schedule a call with me. But 9 times out of 10, they're just calling or emailing or texting and just saying, hey, I saw your videos. I'm thinking about it. Can we have a conversation? And a lot of these people sometimes they're 2-3 years down the road because they've just started the process thinking, is this area right for me? And usually I'm thinking about South Dakota or Tennessee, or there's 2 or 3 or 4 in play. But I'm happy to help them. We have conversations. And usually that's just the way it is. It's not so much of a cold lead kind of thing. They've already decided that they want to use me as the realtor. I do have a moving to Rapid City relocation guide, which is a freebie for them to download. And of course, it captures information, etc. But I found that those leads are the least reliable, the ones that don't respond to me as well. They got the free thing and they're done kind of idea. Yeah. But it's something for me to give them that they have. But yeah, but like I mentioned, majority of people they're just picking up the phone and calling.
That's awesome. Great to know because
Yeah.
we're doing this podcast to ensure agents can see what's out there. What should they be doing? Is it working? And they want to hear from us as agents that have been doing this a long time. What is working? I do some TikToks, and the TikTok's the one place I don't put a ton of my real estate stuff on, but
Yeah.
that's where I got some leads. Random, crazy. And
Yeah.
they were good ones because they feel like they know you, like you said, because it is. So I think that's exactly where marketing is going. And I think that's so important for us to all continue and just get out of our shell and realize it's okay to watch yourself. I think that's
And be yourself and be relatable. So there's another agent that started YouTube like 6 months in my area. And so I even debated right away. I'm like, he's already got 1,000 followers. Maybe I'm just too late. But he's a younger guy. And so he gets a lot of the younger clients, I assume. And I get a lot of the 40, 50-year-olds, kind of my audience,
Mhm.
second time home buyers, and they have a little more money. So I'm not sad that I'm working with people with a little more money and not working. The first time home buyers are great, but that usually is more of a challenge in some ways trying to find them, especially in today's market.
Oh yeah.
So people who like me are the ones that call me. And the people who like the other guy, they're going to call the other guy. And so that doesn't matter what you put out there. They're going to watch everything, and they're going to choose the person that they relate with more. Some people like my jokes. I had one person, there's some Star Trek stuff back here. She
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, I love Star Trek. You must be the guy for me." And she gave me a call. So you never know where someone is going to connect with you, and you never know how they're gonna respond to you. And it's very important to come on camera, be who you are, be yourself. I tell bad jokes, like I mentioned, and I keep doing bad jokes through my videos. They're either gonna love you or hate you, but at
Oh
least
yeah.
you're who you are all the time.
There's always going to be people that are relatable to you, and you never know where they're coming in. I live not in the beautiful place of the hills like you. I'm very acclimated with your area. I do come there, but I live in the oil field. So we have people from all over the world coming. So
Yeah.
we also have to explain what this place is, what is happening. So you have some great tips. I'm definitely going to take away from there. That's for sure. Uh,
Awesome. Thank you.
yeah, for sure. So I also see that you would love to be a motivational speaker someday, or
Yes.
are you already doing that?
Working towards it for sure. I've got
Okay.
some things that I could put together. I could do it right now if I wanted to. It's got to get to the right people, to the right spots, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, are you wanting to do that within the real estate realm or do coaching? What are you thinking?
No, I really wouldn't mind getting outside of. I get tired of the whole real estate space.
Uh-huh.
Just
Yep.
in a lot of ways, the things that get talked about are all the same. I've been a member of a Toastmasters, which is a group, an organization where you get together and you speak in front of people that you know, and people coach you up and that kind of thing. I haven't been there since about 2010, and a few years into that, I realized, hey, I like this speaking thing. I like the inspirational thing, and what I realized is I went back through all of my speeches that I gave, that my topic, what I talk about, is having confidence in yourself. And a lot of that goes into this video thing too. In fact, I've created a whole little confidence in video speech as well to talk about. Because what's the first thing that people complain about when they are going to go in front of video?
They're scared. Absolutely.
It's usually looks, sound,
Yep.
what was someone else going to think of me, all the different things.
Yep.
But when you can line up with who you are as a person and just be so strong and confident in yourself and just open up the camera and talk like it's your friend, people then we get back to that relatability thing as far as the real estate side. But it also makes your life so much easier when you can just be like, I am who I am and I'm okay with that. When you know who you are, you can be confident in yourself, and that becomes more and more of your life. And it just makes life a lot easier. You're not worried about what this person says or what that person says. It's, well, I'm right here. I'm fine with that. My biggest example here is, so in our space, if you don't get up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning and work out and cold water plunge, I mean, whatever the thing is, right?
All the
You're
new
not going to be
things. Yep.
successful, right? There are myriads of books talking about this. I'm not an early morning riser. I tried it. Don't like it. It doesn't work for me. I don't get up till 8. I don't get to the office till 10. And I'm okay with that. I know how to make my life work where I'm doing everything else at the time that works best for me. I don't need to do what everybody else says I should do just because they said I should do it. I'm doing what works best for me. And that's where a lot of that comes into play with having confidence in yourself, and expressing who you are all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't go into it with fake anything. If
Yeah.
you go in there fake,
People know.
nobody cares. People know that it's not genuine and it doesn't make sense. And then you don't get the likes, you don't get the leads, you don't get anything. And I think it's awesome that you're going into that motivational realm. I think you'll be great. I can already tell just by talking to you that you're
A
a
little, just a little passionate about it, can't you tell?
Oh, and I love that. We definitely need more people like you because I think everybody is so far in their head about what does that people think of, what does that person think of me? I'm like, who's this person? Like I always had to ask those people, like, what are those people? Like, who are they? Who is bugging you so much to make you not want to show yourself?
As much as we love social media, use social media, it also is the other side where it's the crux, where social media is the thief of your not only your joy, but also your confidence in yourself.
Yeah. Yep, because people are mean, unfortunately, and you just got to get over it because it doesn't matter because those aren't the people that are going to be with you. Those aren't the people that are going to be in your inner circle. I'm big on inner circle. I am huge on surrounding yourself with the right people. And sometimes those people fade off because they become the wrong people. And that's okay. Being okay with that. As you grow, you learn what's good for you, and that's okay.
Yep. And your people will find you because they'll be attracted to you. And the people that don't, if you've got $1 million house that you want to buy, but you're an asshole, I have no interest in working with you. That's just going to degrade all of my time and energy, and I have no interest. I'd rather work with a bunch of 300,000 people, $300,000 people that love me.
No, I agree. I used to be a managing broker with another lady at a Remax actually, and I was very strong on this with the agents. I'm like, if it's a waste of your time, if they are going to suck the life out of you and it is going to be miserable, it's okay to say no. It's
Yep.
okay to pass. Your joy is also important in life. So
100%.
real estate is hard. We are busy and crazy and we deal with a lot of emotions and stress, that's for sure.
100%. Yep.
So I want to know in your real estate time that you have been in here, how many, I'm sure you have a ton of them, especially since you're a jokester already. Tell me some good stories about your real estate endeavors, whether it's funny, embarrassing, things that have happened. Give me some ideas. I want to make sure agents hear that every day is different and sometimes they fail, sometimes they're funny. It just depends.
Now, the biggest things that I always think of are those things where I did not communicate correctly to the people, or there was expectations in place that should not have been there, but I was not strong enough to be able to express, hey, this is where things are going. I had a situation once where I had a new construction couple came into town. He came into town. We found the builder, we found the floor plan, et cetera, et cetera. But for some reason, they were under the impression that, okay, now that we've got the floor plan, we can do whatever we want. And it was like, no, this is the price point based upon all the stuff that's involved. Now, the builder, I think this is one of the first homes that the builder built. And so he wasn't very organized and he didn't have spec sheets and this is what's included, et cetera, et cetera. So all these things were happening. She was about ready to throw everything out the window because she couldn't get the front door that she wanted. It's just, I gotta, of course, then he gets that from her, and then he's writing me this email that's scathing, but I can see behind it. I can tell he's just mad, upset because his wife is mad. And so I really started realizing at that point how much that communication was important to be up front and say, hey, you're not buying a custom mansion here. This is what you get. This is what you can expect. And that was a huge lesson for me just to be like, okay, let's make sure we take the time to really have the conversation. What is included, what is not included, and what you can expect, even if it's I like a lot of times I like to give them a low expectation so that if something does happen, it's off the chart. But let's start with the expectations of, hey, this is the way things are so that they don't go crazy with their assumptions of how it should be.
Oh, absolutely. And I think with everything we do. I'm sure you see it when you go into, say, list a house and they are looking for your recommendations. And you have to be honest, whether it's filthy, whether it's you need to clean all this up, whether it's your yard needs work, you have to say all the hard things. And I just had to do it. I had to say, hey, I am not being offensive, but my cleaners are coming in the morning because I am not showing your property like this because it's going to be hard to sell. We have to put our best foot forward. That's just it. You have to have all the hard conversations up front and be on point. Otherwise, they don't know your expectations. People get mad. People get hurt. It happens.
And sometimes those conversations cause issues. I had an older lady in a townhome with cats, and the place reeked. And so I tried to go in there, and and the cleaning wasn't great. So I'm trying to very subtly say, of course, they don't smell it. So I'm like, hey, we need to deal with this. We need to deal with that. They just went in there and got the carpets cleaned, and that just brought everything up worse. So it was like, and she was basically was offended that I would say, hey, the cats are causing an issue because of the smell and people coming in. I ended up losing that listing after a while, and that was okay because I was like, if you're going to be mad at me for doing my job, then that's just the way it is.
Yeah. And I'm probably very well known as I'm the blunt one. So when there's the hard conversation,
I can see that.
I have that. I'm not the one that's going, if you want the fluffy agent that's going to make everything seem okay, I'm not that. I'm going to say, hey, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. I am a business person. That's
what I bring my wife in and say.
Yes. We all
shoot it straight.
have different personality. Again, brings back to every person wants to work with a different personality, and that's okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Some
but
people
no,
like the straight shooter. Some people like the I want to be your friend type people. So you got to find your people.
Oh yeah, and my clients call me because I am the straight shooter. They don't want to deal with all this.
Just say what you mean, right?
Yeah. No, I just tell them, and they're like, okay, that's fine. Thank you. No, that's how I roll in my business anyway. But I'm super excited for you. I hope you start doing your inspirational talks. I think you're going to do great at it. I can already tell.
Thank you.
And with that said, you got to let me know, where can everybody find you? So if anybody wants to book you an appearance, or
very good.
Definitely come use you for real estate of that nature in the Rapid City area. I'm sure you cover the whole hills, correct?
Correct. Yep. Rapid City in the Black Hills. So my name is pretty much, no one else in the world is named Tristan Emond. So it's at Tristan Emond for most everything, youtube.com. And then it's at Tristan Emond, Instagram, Facebook. You're going to you put my name in, you'll find me pretty easy.
You on TikTok too?
Yes. I've not figured out TikTok, but it's there. I think it's Tristan Emond 8 at TikTok, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure everybody knows where to find you. But otherwise, I enjoyed our conversation today, and I hope we can chat again soon.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
That's it for this episode of the Inner Circle podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation and took away some valuable insights to help you along your real estate journey. If you found today's episode helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop me a comment below with your biggest takeaway or any questions you might have. And if you know someone who would benefit from this conversation, share this episode with them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Inner Circle.